gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
And welcome everyone to the Circle Debate, EYR and Championship on the Line podcast, your MMA podcast here in SoCal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moderator, of course, the Devious One Obviously, here with your host, with the most that brings you to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce, of course, one half of Matters of Pain, because the other half is a shame because he probably lost in the Topology. No. That's why he's not here. If you're watching this, Alex, I know you're watching this. Just admit that you lost, you failed. Anybody, hashtag anybody but Alex, but he's not here. But we have at least one-time former champ, Richard Modest from Championship on the Line podcast. And of course, the man that brings that rage in that cage. And that's why he's known as the phenomenal one, Coach Rage, ladies and gentlemen, EYR. And now I'll go ahead and pass it on to the host with the most, ladies and gentlemen, the director, directs you everywhere and here as well, because he is the undisputed, the unmatched, the unrivaled, and the undefeated Topology World Champion, the director himself, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Kenner. Take it away.
You might as well call me GSP because I'm not impressed by your performance. I am absolutely looking forward to this episode now that Alex is not here, so we don't have to have a
yeah, he had to work overtime to pay off the bets.
Yeah. Yanni the Greek probably did him dirty because there were 5 Alexes on this card, including our own Alex Maret. So it's just gonna be a little bit easier to keep track of what's going on with the Alex party. But UFC 277 is over with. Nothing about this card disappointed me. I don't know if a lot of news stories and developments were written. I don't know if the world was completely shifted like it has been in the past, but like Coach said last week, a lot of things are back in sync with the universe, and gas prices are hopefully going down.
They are going down a little bit.
A little bit. We're all in LA out here, so I know how bad it is. I've been on tour in the Midwest and East Coast, and super jealous of that $3 gallon. So we are absolutely going to go over our Topology picks, and I do have to say, boys, I watch these as they happen, and I compare them as the fights go on, and these were too close to comfort. I mean, everybody was just within 60 points of each other from the lowest score to the highest score. Nobody got less than 8 fights correct, and that is insane.
Wow.
For everybody who's in the room except Alex, who also did very well. We'll find out if he defeats me or if I get to retain. So to do that, we're going to start off with Richard with your picks. Let me pull up your score.
Cool.
I have to copy and paste something. There we go. Look that up. Boom. Oh, come on. Almost done. I should have had this ready. I thought I did. Cool. So main card of the night. First fight of the night was Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. You had Smith by submission round 2. Didn't work out that way, my guy. What happened?
No, like there's going to be some fights like I chose in my heart. Like the moment I saw like the first minute, I'm like, oh man, I'm pretty sure I made the wrong pick. But I like Smith, but not when he talks on his podcast because everything he says, I'm not really a fan of. But other than that, I'm a fan of his fighting. I mean, he has tremendous heart. I mean, he goes in there, guns blazing, and he'll take some punishment to throw something back and finish it.
Lionheart.
There you go. We hear that name for sure. He's a Lionheart. He's a lion in there. And Magomed, I mean, every time some kind of Dagestan fighter come in, the biased commentary by Daniel Cormier just rages me. No pun there, rage.
Yeah, I remember DC said something like, "If you're born in Dagestan, you have like a black belt in your diaper or something like that."
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
that.
"Come on, bro! Like, you're not wrong, but chill."
I mean, I can't. He's like, I'm not biased. I'm like, this is the same man that was in charge of the
All of
EA Sports video game, and
them.
he was. What was he doing? Remember he did the. He was in charge of like the striking, like giving the percentages on the video game, and I think
Oh,
he
really?
gave Khabib like, yeah, he gave Khabib like the highest striking, like out
Yeah,
of like
the guy who's only knocked
100%.
out one person on the feet, and that was
Yeah.
fucking Thiago Tavares, like UFC 79 or something.
He had a higher striking percentage, I think, than like Holloway and McGregor.
We'll
which
look that
was,
up.
Ridiculous, something like that. I remember people were just baffled how,
Mhm.
I mean, how biased this guy is. And either way, Magomed looked good. I mean, we didn't really see that much.
Oh,
I
that
feel
was
enough to see it.
that was the UFC on FX that fight happened on. All right, whatever.
We didn't see much. But either way, I mean, I'm just curious where Smith goes. I know Magomed already was, I think, during this interviews, already calling for the champ and calling up for guys. I mean, this is the first time he fought a guy that was, what, top 15? I mean, now, I mean, does he jump ahead? I don't know what you guys think. Does he take Smith's number 5 ranking, or does he just come in the top 10?
He'll move up, but he probably doesn't take. Oh, yeah, he actually has.
I mean, if these are the rankings as of that are updated from this past weekend, he is now currently number 3, and he moved up
Number
1,
3.
jumping Alexander Rakic. Which I mean, make that a fight. I mean, Smith gave up his 5 spot to have Magomed move up. Ankalaev should give up that 4th spot because I don't think he's. I mean, I know his legs all fucksville, but like when that fight happens, maybe you're gonna give him Leon. Leon's, I think, pretty healthy. Like,
yeah. That'll be a fun fight.
So do you think the injury, it was confirmed it was an broken ankle? I don't think it was a sprain or anything. It was a legit
he
broken
fractured it. Yeah.
fracture, which is when both bones break, I believe, not just one.
Yeah,
Coach,
What's up?
I was asking the difference between like a break and a fracture. Is that like the same thing? It just depends how many bones there are.
No, it's just semantics. There's different severities of fractures. Fracture is just a break is a fracture. It's just a more severe.
Compound would be like all of the most extreme.
Yes, a compound fracture would be.
I've had that. I broke
multiple breaks, multiple bones.
Sick.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
So here's what we take away. Magomed looked at Anthony Smith's ankle and it broke. So you will never forget his name because ankle, I have. Just look at it and it breaks.
Son of a bitch. You are you're not wrong about that. Cool. Awesome. All right, Ivan, let's pull you up here. Let me get your Topology ranking.
Yes, sir.
You are the Devious 678 on Topology. We should post our links. People can follow us on these. Like, this is a public forum that we compare everything to. Ivan, you had Smith by decision. It's happening.
Man, disappointed. Disappointed. Yeah. I thought Smith,
you like Smith that much, or just don't like Uncle Lion that much?
I did love Smith that much. I thought Smith, was gonna do something for me, but unfortunately, he didn't. I mean, Magomed really dominated the whole fight. I mean, he dominated, completely. So I gotta give it to him. I mean, Smith. I'm not sure I think for me, I feel like he underestimated him. But it was an impressive win for Magomed, especially those leg kicks. That's when it all began right there, and you could just tell that Smith was not the same after that. So I mean, kudos to Magomed for winning that fight. So I give it to him.
Cool. And I picked Ankalaev by TKO round 1, just because I thought he's a fast starter, and Smith isn't exactly known for his quick finishes. He does have some great finishes, but they weren't exactly in the first round, I believe. I'm going to bring that up real quick because I don't remember how fast that Shogun fight was. You know what? I'm wrong about that. Both the Rashad and the Mauricio Shogun fight were less than 2 minutes each. So he does have some pretty quick finishes. I just thought Ankalaev was just going to be meaner and quicker. And this is a lot like the Tom Aspinall fight where people were like, oh, he didn't technically win because it was an injury. No, motherfucker. If you break your leg on someone else's body, that body did damage. I think Curtis Blades won that fight, hand fair and square. I think he checked the kick that didn't, was intended to hurt him. And same thing with this fight. Ankalaev did the right thing to win the fight. And casuals are going to say an injury doesn't count as a win. They can fuck right off. And I do believe that Ankalaev is going to get – Rakic is on the injured list. I don't know how long he's out for. but Teixeira is above him, and Jan Blachowicz is above him. Either of those fights make sense. Either one of those fights are going to be winner takes Yuri Prochazka, and yeah, pretty much it. That's a future Dagestani light heavyweight champion right there, I think. Coach, thoughts on that fight? He pretty much, shared some of them. Do you have any more?
I was of similar perspective as you. I think I predicted round 2 KTFO Ankalaev. What was interesting when I was watching it, I thought I knew when it happened. So when you check a kick, if the kick is coming on the outside of the leg and you pick up that leg to check it, that's how you normally check a kick. If you take your front leg and bring it across your body, that's called a cross check. And that's a system that both Democrats and Republicans use to scrub voters off. Oh, I'm sorry. Cross checking, you bring that's actually pretty funny. You bring your you bring your leg across your body, and it fucking hurts. So checking a kick is ouchy. Cross checking a kick is really ouchy. And so there was a moment where Smith threw a rear leg from he was orthodox, and he threw a rear leg round kick, and homeboy Ankalaev was standing in open stance and cross-checked it. And I was like, oh, that's where it happened. But it was Smith's other ankle that broke. So I don't know where it actually happened, but I think it's still pretty funny to call him Ankalaev. So
yeah,
there we go.
I like the fact. I guess we talk about Anthony Smith's pun intended Lionheart, and his body doesn't always do what his brain wants it to. But that happened in the first round, and the fight got stopped in the second round. So he was able to go at least 3 to 4 more minutes on a legit broken ankle. Which, if you've ever stepped in a pothole or grass or rolled your ankle without even breaking it.
Motherfucker, if you've ever walked across the room and stubbed your fucking toe.
Oh, yes. Oh,
you ever get out of bed and step on a Lego?
Yes. Or even when you step out of bed and you hit the corner of the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
The most oh, my God.
This Nebraskan Savage fought a world class fighter for like another 4 more minutes before he had to call it off.
Yeah.
And I think it was stopped it was stopped, and then he's like, okay, but my ankle broke. But it was like, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I can we order some pizza? My ankle's broken. My ankle's broken, coach. My ankle's broken. Oh, your ankle's broken? Yeah, my ankle's broken.
I thought he was saying my leg is broken because that's what it sounded
he did.
Saying.
No, he did say the word leg. He did not know what was broken. He just knew something was broken.
It's not working.
Yeah, I heard him say leg broken. So
yeah. So
fucking ouch.
Anyone that's been listening to us for any time now, they hear me say that a lot of different fighters should retire, and it seems like I'm like pro retirement because I am. This isn't like other sports where you get out of other sports a little late. So what? You don't perform quite as well. You don't hit as many home runs. It's no big deal. But in fighting, the longer you delay your retirement, the greater the risks just skyrocket exponentially. And the risk benefit just spirals out of control. So anyway, I think Smith really needs to look at other options and start looking at transitioning out of the sport. I'm not saying, retire tomorrow, but it's time to start thinking about long-term career, your health, the other thing is, man, brain damage can happen instantly, and he's got kids and a wife, and it's time for him to start start finding other options. And he already has some opportunities with the broadcast booth and whatever else. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
All right, let's take it to the next fight of the night. We've got Alexander Pantoja versus Alex Perez. Richard, you had Pantoja by TKO round 3. That was pretty close. I mean, it was a finish. It happened in round 1. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, I mean, they came out swinging, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
they came
it was
out
a
just
fast round.
throwing. Yeah, it was so fast. They were throwing. You saw a scramble. I think at one point Pantoja did like a trip, if I'm also not mistaken, and he ended up getting his back, which is really slick of him. Got his back and neck crank, and that was it. A well-deserved win. I mean, even though Perez was close to a 2-year layoff, he still looked good. I mean, he looked in shape, looked fight shape, and went striking and tried to get the KO and paid for it. But still pretty good fight for Perez. And Pantoja, I think he's jumping. What was he, number 2 now? I believe he jumped 2 spots, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
What class was that? That was that's so many weight classes.
Yeah, I think it was at 4.
Was that
I think he's at
bantamweight?
two.
No.
So
Yeah,
Pantoja jumped. Yeah, Pantoja jumped up to 2 because he also leapfrogged Kai Kara France.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty. I mean, now we see what happens now. I mean, does he wait, or does he, for the Moreno-Figueiredo fight, or does he, remain, active? Does he fight Kai France?
Fight Kai Kara might as well.
Yeah.
Fight Kai Kara. Why not? I would set it up. It's better that way. Keep him busy. What do you think, director?
Does he fight Kai Kara? I mean, nobody's getting a title shot till 2023. I mean, unless something happens before December, that's going to be fucking wild. But they want that Davidson Moreno fight in December, so that title's on lock. So those two definitely have plenty of time to fight each other, and the winner of that definitely gets the winner of the 4th fight between Figgy and Moreno. So that kind of that timing makes perfect sense. Have that fight happen in like October, and then the title fight in December, and then early spring, mid-spring, have that 3rd fight right there. Yeah. Speaking of that fight, Ivan, you had Pantoja by decision. I mean, almost.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to play it safe, of course, but Pantoja, I mean, fantastic job jumping in the back and choking him out. I mean, there's nothing, Richard, we already spoke to very, he recapped it very well. I mean, there's nothing much you could add on, but Pettis does look in great shape. I mean, but it's been quite some time that he's been in an octagon. So I'm hoping we get to see him again soon. He didn't take that much damage. For me, in my opinion, he just choked out. That's it. Just that choke that Pantoja just did on that jaw. Oh man, it's a horrible feeling. People who has never experienced it, I have. It's horrible. Just that pressure right here. Oh my God, it's just. I hate that feeling, but I hate just. But the kudos to Pantoja, man. He did a great job, and I'm hoping we do see him against France for number 1 contendership. Like he mentioned, director, maybe October, maybe November, probably. I wouldn't be not mad about that at all. I think that's something that will be intriguing to see.
Yeah, I honestly think that would make the most sense. I don't know what Dana's plans are, but I mean, that just seems pretty clear. Same fight. I had Pantoja by decision as well. He just came out wanting to just murder someone. Like that was not. Perez was in it for maybe 14 seconds at most, and the rest of that was just Pantoja doing whatever he big brothered the shit out of him. And like we said, I mean, this sets up him getting the winner. I mean, even if you wanted to just wait for the winner of Figgy and Moreno, he could do it, I think. I mean, I'm sure Dana's going to be like, maybe fight first just to have something happen in that division.
Yeah.
And him having this big win and Kai having that big loss, like, does that make sense for him to give up that spot? That's something to consider. People take fights when they don't need to for title shots, and they can lose those title shots or keep them, and time only will tell on that one.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that one. It was a spectacular fight, and it was just a beatdown.
I just realized something too, because I mean, you look at shout out to Dan, Cage My Cube. But yeah, and Askarov just booked the fight. Yeah, I just realized that Pantoja has not beaten Askarov. He has a loss with him, so maybe that too. But this fight as well too, just book. And I mean, same book fight with Royval maybe. But what about you book Pantoja versus Askarov, since he's number what in the rankings? He's
KJIQ
number
just
4.
Askarov has Brendan Royval, so that fight's booked.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, too. I mean, but I'm sorry.
Really not going on.
Come on, relax, Alex. Get back to work. Get back to work.
We know you're working overtime to pay off the bookies. So
yep, guys, hey,
all good, brother.
Alex likes to lose in style. I love it. All right. So next fight of the night is
coach. We need a good coach.
Coach. No, coach already talked about it. No, I'm just kidding. Go for it.
Everyone knows I really don't care about flyweights. I'm sorry, I just don't. Like, you guys are just not the best of you are just not very good and not very exciting. So Alex Perez trains with Coach Oyama, which is why I, out of my own personal bias, picked him to win. But Pantoja was really actually very impressive. Came out super aggressive. And one thing I want to say to all you jiu-jitsu players out there, there's this thing in catch wrestling called a face lock. It's not that, he's doing a rear naked choke, but it's not under the chin. No, it's a face lock, okay? And it fucking hurts. And if you don't tap to it, your teeth breaks, your jaw dislocates, and you wish you had tapped to it. So it's not a rear naked choke. It's a face lock, and it's from catch wrestling. And catch wrestling's fucking awesome.
That is right. Amen, brother. Amen. That's right. Preach it. That's right.
Cool. All right. On to the next fight. Russian Superman Sergey Pavlovich versus the Texas barbecue Derek Lewis.
We're Ronda Rousey at.
Where that fight at?
Where that fight at, Ronda Rousey at?
You had Pavlovich by KO round 1. That is exactly what happened. That's can't get any better than that. Yeah,
I love that.
We hear you. You're good.
Oh, nice.
You're live.
I'm live, pal.
Hey, we're live, pal.
The Derek Lewis too, like you just mentioned. I don't know if you guys saw that recent interview he had with Cormier. I think Cormier was talking, and Cormier said, "I recently spoke to Rousey," and then Derek Lewis like, "Did she ask about me?" And Cormier just started busting laughing. A love story that we'll never know, but still pretty cool and hilarious. Anyways, Sergey, he did what he had to do. Even he said, like, "Don't get mad at me. I just went out there to fight and get the knockout." A lot of people thought it was over. Even Dana, I think at the press conference, was saying, "Well, the way Derek Lewis fell, we thought he was out, and then the way he popped up, then I'm like, wait a second, it was a bad stoppage." But either way, Sergey, deserved the win. And Sergey, I think he went up a crazy amount. He went 6 rankings up, and now he's number 5. And Derek Lewis dropped 2, which is pretty insane. He dropped 2, number 7, and now Sergey's number 5.
Yeah, from 11 to fucking 5, which is wild.
Which is crazy. And just seeing the rankings too, like Sergey, he's number 5, and Curtis Blaze, we saw his fight recently too. They're both pretty much fresh. I would love to see Curtis Blaze versus Sergey. I don't know what you guys think about that.
That's probably
That makes sense. Or anyone in that top 4. I don't know what Stipe's issue is. He hasn't fought in a while.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought in years. Ty is in there in the mix. I think Ty should get a title shot. I think he absolutely can jump 3. They might be looking to him versus Cyril, but I would be totally not mad if they booked Ty versus Francis in December.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Ivan, you had Pavlovich, but TKO round 2, pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, Sergey. impressive win. I know it's a controversial stoppage. I know certain people were disputing all over the MMA internet community, saying no, what this should have been stopped. But it just like how Richard said it. He took him long to get up and to recover, and right away I know he was disputing it, but great win for Serg. He deserved that win. Something new, fresh in the heavyweight division, and I would love to see him compete more and be on that top 3. I would like to see that. I would like to see Serg up there. But I was really impressed with Serg, and he came he came in with a strategy, and I guess like I said, whoever got caught, and it was Lewis who got caught. So hands down to Serg for winning this fight.
I also believe I got that perfect. I picked Sergey round 1 KO, and Derek Lewis flatlined face forward. There was no way to know that. I mean, sure, give the guy time to recover is an argument you can make in fights where the guy doesn't go face first from 7 feet up. He was out. I mean, maybe he recovered, but the ref did exactly what was supposed to happen in that call. So that is a legit win for me. I don't care if it happened in Texas. I don't care if it happened in Russia. I don't care if it happened in fucking Sweet Baby Ray's. That shit was cold. It's like Sopranos. It was over.
That 8 reaches a problem.
So
0-4 in Texas. There you go.
Fucking great stat. That is a wild stat for the former. That is pretty much
Derek
it.
Lewis is 0-4.
Sergey is right where he needs to be. I don't know who he gets next. I think he could definitely do that to anybody in the division. I need to see more of him. He obviously doesn't fight for very long, so there's not a lot to measure his resilience and his long-term fighting skills. But if he's doing that to people like Derek, he can do that to pretty much anyone above him in the rankings. Coach.
Yeah. So I picked Derek Lewis just because I'm a Derek Lewis fan, even though he's knocked out friends of mine, but still like him. I think he looked awful. I think he looked terrible. As far as the ref stoppage, not only did he fall on his face, and understand at heavyweight, somebody falls on their face and you don't stop the other heavyweight from pounding on him, it's way more dangerous than any other division. So the lighter weight classes, you give them just a little bit more time to recover or whatever. But when a heavyweight gets his lights shut off and he falls face down with his arms basically behind his back, you stop it. But then it was also predicated on Derek Lewis not intelligently defending himself to begin with. He was backpedaling and like swatting flies away from his face. He wasn't moving like a trained fighter. It was bad. So the stoppage was on point. Cage My IQ has been making some really good contributions with his
Did we all freeze or just coach?
Just
I
coach.
think just coach.
Okay, just making sure. I like the move.
freeze. God.
Yeah, he's so
There you go.
good.
There you go. You're
Expletive,
back.
expletive.
Okay.
You're back. So you're saying that,
All right.
Cage Mike Q has valid points on what we were saying.
Yeah, he's been making some really good contributions tonight. So thank you, brother. There's a problem in some of the weight classes: male flyweight, female bantamweight, and male heavyweight. Their problem is training partners.
Oh.
And we'll talk about it later because Amanda and Juliana, that showed up there. It showed up twice on the card here in the flyweights. And then it showed up here in the heavyweights. That fight was amateurish, except they were swinging sledgehammers at each other. But their form, their technique, their footwork, non-existent. So it's like, that's not boxing, that's not MMA, that's not any art. That's just two big dudes slobber knocking. And it's really difficult. The bigger you are, the harder it is to find good, skilled adversaries or training partners. And the fact that Sergey, how many rankings did he jump up?
6.
97 in one night. So
he's multi-champion in one night.
Right. So that's just indicative of what I'm saying. And the other problem that we have in MMA is that big dudes can make a lot of money playing other games, playing other sports, right? So a lot of the huge athletic guys will go into basketball or football or ball sports, and so then we're left with a smaller group of talent to pull from. And then the last thing, since I'm talking about balls, Derek Lewis, I think, should move forward with the networking that he's already created with Popeye's Chicken. I think he should have a breaded, fried macaroni, cheese, and spicy chicken ball, a fried mac and cheese, spicy chicken ball, and call it Derek Lewis's Hot Balls, and get it into the Popeyes franchise and
Oh my god,
go that way. Yeah, my balls was hot.
They sure work.
They still work, Rhonda. They still work. Don't fine ass. Damn,
right.
so I like this what he just said about his sample. I do want to see that though from Sergey though. So I'm curious. I'm not aware that he's very quick on this with his sample. So okay, all right,
cool. On to the first title fight of the night for the interim title. We have Brandon Baby Assassin versus Kai Kara France. Richard, you had Kai by TKO round 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every time I see Kai Kara France, I just see that Garbrandt fight of him knocking him out, and I thought he had a chance with Moreno, but every time Moreno fights, and even this one, it just makes me feel ashamed that I go against him. I mean, and even I'm like kicking myself, like, man, why am I keep on going against this guy? And you keep on seeing like his previous fights, some of his losses in early days in the UFC when he was coming out, but he just looks good. I mean, he does what he had to do. I memean, he kind of dictated the fight. Kai Kara France tried to throw some shots, but Moreno, was kind of picking him apart. And then third round, landing a body kick and some punches and finished it. Moreno has a tough chin. I mean, he'll keep on going. It's hard to take a crack at him and drop him. But I know Rage always says that, see how long that could last. He's taking a lot of punishment. I guess like France had landed some good shots here and there. Their Figueiredo fight with those wars. We're going to see, I mean, the next fight, how it's going to turn out, him versus Figueiredo. But for now, Moreno looked stunning. He looked great. And the only thing that didn't really impress me afterwards was just the trash talk and the language barriers afterwards of Figueiredo coming with the belt, thinking he's going to trash talk him. And I was like, wait a second, he's coming out with the belt like this, like, what you want, motherfucker? And here comes Moreno hugging him and giving him a fruit basket and, talking about their kids and everything. So I think even Figueiredo was kind of confused by that. But, I mean, either way, still a good fight, and Moreno earned it.
Yeah.
All right. Ivan, you had Moreno by decision.
Yeah. Before I get into it, as for you, Coach, Derek Lewis is going to be fed to Alexander Romanov now. So, okay. Oh, man. Viva Mexico, su puta madre. That's right. I said it. Viva Mexico, cabrones. And see, I had to go with my heart with Moreno. Fantastic fight of the night. Oh, man. One thing I've noticed from Moreno on this fight, though, he did not have his hands closed fists throughout those fights. He had them very well-rounded, opened, and strategizing, watching of what Scorecard was doing. And that was a fantastic job on his part. It was scary in the beginning of the third round because, yes, of course, when he got caught and got busted open, I go, oh, shit, here we go. Uh-oh. But good strategy from Moreno. He saw that opening to that kick, busted, Francis' ribs, and took advantage of it and won the fight. And I was really impressed. Really, really impressed with Moreno with overall just how he strategized. And actually, I know that he really watched, Carter's, prior fights, of course, and really studied him very well. Last week everybody was mentioning that, France was the one who's a strategic fighter and where he's going to get you. But it looks like the tables turned on this one. Moreno was the one that was the strategic, and Carter got caught. He got caught with that opening, and but overall, fantastic performance for these two fighters, especially for Moreno. I don't know why Figueroa went into the octagon in the first place. He took away the moment of shine of Moreno. Okay, he's your number one. He's your interim. He said it himself. I love him saying, "Yeah, I'm not the champion right now, but I will be soon down the line. I will become champion once again." And man, I have nothing but respect for this man and how he carries himself. And I don't know, Figueroa shouldn't have gone into the octagon. He should have just stay in your seat, stay in your lane, let him have his moment of shine. You'll get him in December, and that's it. I mean, there's no big, that was not necessary. I mean, but other than that, man, Moreno pulled it off. Great win, man. Great kick, especially. I did not see that. I had not. For me, I'm saying I have been experiencing Scorecard got, put down in that position. But kudos once again to Moreno, man. Fantastic.
So both of these guys are under 30 years old and have an accumulated fight total of like 70 and 12. Kai's been fighting since he was 17. He's 29 right now, and his record is like 24-6. Like, that's insane. So this was not a career-ending loss for him. It's his only KO finish in the UFC. I think his second or third maybe overall. And if anything, unfortunately, it was a loss, but it will make him a star. I picked him to finish the fight. I picked him by KO round 2. I thought maybe he was going to hit harder and more often, but I may have underestimated how fucking clever Brandon Moreno was. This fight was almost pretty even for a lot of it. It wasn't like a blowout like the second fight between Moreno and Figgy. But this is the Moreno that maybe should have shown up in the last fight and hopefully does show up in the next fight and unifies that flyweight championship. What's next for Kai is pretty much anyone that's below him, I would say right now, ranked lesser than him, which could be Roy
flyweight.
Perez or Pantoja. I mean, if I was Pantoja, I would not take that fight. The guy just lost. I just got number 2. So give him Alex Perez. They both lost on the same card, plenty of time to recover and time that perfectly. And a lot of people seem to have an issue with, this is the 4th fight between Moreno and Figgy, but a draw doesn't really count as one of those. Like, it's not like, I think like Ian McCall and DJ went like 4 times and DJ won like 3 of those or something like that. Like, that's weird. Or like Benson Henderson and Frankie Edgar. Edgar kept losing and he kept getting rematches. The 3rd fight of it being a draw, it doesn't make it a rubber match. So the real rubber match is the one that's coming up this winter. And I have no problem with that. And I would love to see this Moreno show up and regain that belt. But then what? Then Figgy's going to have to fight him a 5th time because then it's going to be like they're going to fight forever. They're going to fight 10 times. They're going to set records with how many times they fight, I promise. But yeah, that was a very devastating kick. Caught him on the end of it. You heard it. It was through the crowd cheering, you can hear it in the echo throughout the entire arena. Kai was down for a while. I mean, you can't tough and recover from something like that. You can't be like when it happened to Scott Smith and Pete Sell, that was wild. Scott Smith got him on the floating rib. Smith was just fucking out on his feet, and that he took one deep breath, hit that shot, and you immediately crumpled. Like, you don't have any control over what you do while you get hit with that. Your body literally just goes into cryosis, or whatever Han Solo was, carbonation freeze. You're done. And the fact that he was able to get up after like 5 minutes is impressive. So good fight, for spirited performance by Kai. That's what the Japanese used to say, but Moreno is definitely the better fighter. That's what I got, Coach.
Yeah, Moreno impressed me. I was expecting Car France to win. I was expecting him to win by knockout, and I actually expected it to be pretty easy for Kai. Kai is very technical, very experienced, and he's been putting people to sleep, bang, 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 and guys that were pretty good. But Moreno is weird, and and he makes that weird work. But that step through round kick, again, that's not a technique that usually works in MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai. But because Moreno is so awkward and unpredictable, and he can get away with big telegraphed wonky movements like that, and it flatlined Car France. So yeah, he's going to fight Figgy. I don't think Moreno and Figgy are going to fight in perpetuity. I don't think that's going to happen because Figgy is going to start having problems making weight at all, ever. And he's going to be forced to go up to 35, and eventually he's going to be forced to go up to 45. Wait and see. I know what I'm talking about. The other thing with Moreno, he's with a new camp, and it's his coaching and his training partners. It's working out well. So he's probably going to be staying there and getting even better. Car France, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He's still in it. I don't have much else to say about it because it's flyweight. So
he does not care about flyweight. He does
How many? Okay, check this out, Coach. How many flyweights you got at your gym?
My gym? None.
Yeah, that's the answer. Okay, fair enough. That's all I wanted to hear.
Kicks him out, okay? He told him,
He
get out of
kicks
my
him
gym.
out. He's like, what's the weight? Oh, no. Get out. Get out.
No, I mean, I just make him feel bad because I take one in each arm and curl them. And what were you saying, Junior? Yeah. No.
Right. All right. So we are now on to the main event of the night. Richard, love this prediction. You had Pena submission round 3. Were you watching the first fight or?
What?
I just, what? No, I just, for sure, she had so many opportunities, but I don't know. I just feel like Nunes kind of, it's like that dad playing with his kid in his park, and the kid's trying to choke the dad and grabbing on submissions, and the dad's like, yeah, he'll get me, but it's not going to hurt me, and I'll just toss him back, and then he'll get my back. Nunes kind of made it look like that. I mean,
are we talking about child abuse? Damn, we got dark. Got dark quick. I mean, all fighters have some traumatic bullshit in their childhood history, but damn, son, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Damn it, Rage. I mean, all right. I was gonna change it it's like me playing with my dog and my dog trying to bite me, and now it's gonna be animal abuse.
See?
I don't even know what kind of metaphor to put or analogy. Anyways, she just made it seem like that there'll be threats, but I'll get out of it. And they're both kind of exhausted. I mean, there's sweat and blood everywhere, and Nunes, even Cormier said there's no way she's gonna really cinch it. There's moments. And there's moments she had it, and I thought she did. It kind of remind me when Jones gave up that armbar versus Vitor. And Vitor had it, and everyone thought, this is it. Vitor's going to be champ. And Pena had that opportunity, but it just kept on slipping, literally. Kept on slipping away
her
from
face made me think she had it.
Yeah. There's moments like, okay, she has it.
For that armbar.
Oh, yeah. That's the one for sure, when she was against the cage, and I thought, okay, this is it. But Nunes kept on going, and Nunes... you saw the press conference. She was saying that I wanted to go to 5 rounds, and I wanted to make a statement. And a statement indeed. I mean, the judges saw it. Each judge had it a little differently, 50-45, 50-44, 50-43.
They all
it's still kind of
wrong.
hard to – yeah,
they all
scored
it wrong. Yeah.
And he was dominant, but it's kind of hard to say that when Nunes could barely, open her right eye and is walking with crutches and needs 2 people lifting her. I mean, still give credit to Pena. Pena fought her ass off and really tried to, every round she never gave up. She always tried to look for submission. She tried to throw some hands and, a little bit look kind of wonky. Every time she was going forward, trying to blitz on Nunes. Nunes came with that right hook and kept on checking it. And Pena wasn't really changing her strategy. Her corner was giving her some good advice, but it just Nunes went her way, and that's all she wrote.
So she wrote.
Cool. Ivan, you had Nunes by KO round 2.
Oh, yeah, I mean, now at least I got it to valid reason why, Nunes went 5 rounds to put a statement. In the beginning, when I was watching this fight, I'm like, she's toying with her. I mean, why are you toying with this individual? You knocked her out, like, you dominated, obviously, the first round. The second round, I was expecting at least the second round or third to knock her out, or even prior to that already. This fight should have been over. And I know a lot of people whoever betted the betting odds were pissed the fuck off because they're like, what the fuck? This fight should have been over by now. Why? I guarantee you a lot of these sports bettors, when they bet on this fight, they lost a lot of money because it's just that they were expecting a quick end fight because, we know Nunes' reputation. And, she's a dominant female, and she's dominant overall. But Pena, and, they're speaking about her cardio, anything else. I think Nunes, her switching camps and her getting her mind focused now back on, it really changed. Where this is something different, and this is the old Nunes that we'd like to see. But this is more of aggressive. So she's really making a statement for her to, literally telling her to get up. Come on, I want toe-to-toe. Let's get up. Get up. She had the opportunity to, pound on the ground, but no. Gave her the opportunity to get up and see what you got. And no, keep on continuing knocking her out. So, I mean, I don't know what Dana's waiting for. I mean, just get rid of the other division. There's nobody there anymore. I mean, they asked him, there's no rankings. Why? Why continue this, Dana? Like, they even asked in the post conference, so you're like, oh, she's still 2 belts. Whatever she wants to do. Mentioning about now her moving up to face Shevchenko on her division. So it's just, I don't know. It just is. But for Pena, though, hopefully she, get back on the drawing board and get up there once again. But I give her credit at least because she stood up and kept on going. So she did not, she didn't give up. So at least she tried and continued. And, so I'll give her props for that. Do I want a trilogy? According to the chosen one, ladies and gentlemen, he's on right now. Thank you very much. No trilogy. Cage doesn't want a trilogy. No. So, I mean, I don't think there should be a trilogy. But in reality, to be realistic, what is there left on that division? Honestly, there isn't. Might as well just book the fucking the trilogy. I mean, that's just my opinion about it. I mean, that's just. But overall, Nunes, she's back on board again. She's back on her 8 game. So kudos for her for this dominant win, man. Great performance for her.
Got it. Cool. On to me, who had Nunes by KO round 1. All right. I'm going to make this pretty cut and dry for me. I think, Coach, I kind of feel like you might agree with me on this one, but let's see. Pena, you say, not you, but like people say, oh, Pena's a dog. She was in that fight. She really never gave up. Amanda was playing with her food the whole time, and I don't approve of that. There was plenty of times she could have finished her. She had 3 left hook knockdowns in 1 round alone. In boxing, obviously, that's a finish. She could have followed her to the ground. Knowing how comfortable Nunes felt going to the ground with her in the later rounds, she definitely wasn't knocking her down and afraid to go to the ground with her earlier. I think she wanted to prove a point. I think it was a tale of 2 fights for her. I think she wanted to fuck her up on the feet. And then, hey, bitch, you finished me on the ground last time. You thought you were better than me on the ground. Let me fuck you up for another 20 minutes on the ground and really prove that point. Put her in way more danger. She was definitely closer to being finished or compromised in the ground positions. I think Nunes could have just KO'd her whenever she wanted to, and I don't like that she didn't. But she was trying to make that statement, but it was a risky statement because that armbar was absolutely close. She can say her armbar defense.
Right.
She can say her armbar defense is perfect as much as she wants to, but she still lost the fight by submission in the first fight. Pena may be tough, obviously. I don't think it is up to her to stay in the fight as people give her credit for. That's how I feel. They didn't talk to Pena after the fight. There was no interview. There was no, what are your thoughts about the fight? What's in the future for you, champ? Either they just refused to talk to her or she bounced. They didn't even put her on the camera after the fight.
No,
So
because she had a skin, part of her skin.
I know.
They didn't have the proper technology. You know, the thing that Stephen Hawking uses.
I don't think that was the case right away. They have talked to people with equal cuts. I don't think that they were immediately shucking her out of the cage to go to that. I mean, the injury wasn't even as bad as I thought. She didn't need a skin graft. Apparently, she just needed stitches, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But they didn't even, regardless of them talking to her, they didn't even talk about her.
Oh, no.
In the post-fight conference, her name wasn't really brought up in the rubber match. And then they asked about what was happening at the 45-pound division. And Dana and Pena both said, oh, there's things that can happen in that division. They didn't say anything specifically. Obviously, there's no rankings for it. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if Kayla Harris's contract at PFL is up anytime soon. I know, isn't that the fight they wanted to make at one point and they just didn't work out? I don't know if someone's going to move up. I do know the only fighter that Nunes talked about at all after that fight was Valentina Shevchenko. That's the rubber match people want to see. Or it's not even a rubber match. Nunes is 2-0 against her, but that was like 3-4 years ago. And, I mean, that fight would sell. Absolutely.
Cyborg called her out, too. But she's a Bellator, but she called her out.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyber who?
Yeah.
That's the only person I saw. Like,
Barry's in bare knuckle boxing. Whoop you fucking do. I don't know what their plans are for 45, but they definitely seem more interested in keeping that division alive somehow. So I don't know what's next for Nunes, but I don't agree that her just retiring because she's literally defeated every champion in 2 divisions. She's not ready to retire. She's still having fun, still hungry. She's not taking a lot of damage. She really doesn't walk out of fights bloody at all. She doesn't have any injuries. Like, let her go until she can't no more. And I think that should entirely be up to her, especially now that she's at a up-and-coming great gym at Fortis where she seems super happy and back to her old self. Those are my thoughts.
Let me ask you a question. Who's that? The Meatball Molly. What weight is she?
Molly McCann. She is 25, I believe. Let's find out.
Yeah, I think she's 25.
I don't even think she's in the rankings.
She's just okay. Yeah, okay. Molly McCann, right? Okay, yeah, she's she's birdie number 15. Yeah. So
she is 15 exactly.
Oh, she's 115.
No.
15.
She's ranked number 15 in.
Okay, but she's flyweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that fight wouldn't happen in any reality.
Yeah.
No.
I was curious as to what weight was she in. That's why.
She got ranked though, Molly McCann.
Yeah, she is now 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Which whatever. I love her.
She's getting the Dana White treatment. She's getting the Dana White privilege push. She and Goofball Patty.
Yeah.
Patty.
Goofball.
Patty's a good guy. Let's leave Patty alone.
You got to manufacture some stars. So yeah, my assertion was that Amanda was going to obliterate Juliana, and the rift in the time-space continuum would heal. The CERN reactor would shut down, and all would be right in the universe. Gas prices would go down, etc. But what happened? It almost is. That's why gas prices went down a little bit, but that all is not. I mean, we're on the verge of World War III with fucking Nancy Pelosi over there in Taiwan. But it's because Amanda, like you pointed out, Mr. Director, she was playing with her food, farting around, trying to make whatever. By the way, you knock somebody down 3 times in one round, that's a 10-7 round, and none of the judges scored that, and that annoyed me.
Is that true? I thought there were some 50-46s in there.
Well, then they didn't score the 10-8s that should have been scored.
Yeah, 50, 45, right. 44, 43.
43, right? So that's at least one 10-7. No?
No, that could be a 10-7 and no 10-8s. but there should have been a 10-7 and two 10-8s.
I'm gonna bring up. Richard? Do you have the actual scorecard? Because they usually put those online on like Fight Metrics or whatever.
Let me check. I'm just looking. It just says here on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find.
The actual scorecards.
Yeah, you guys keep talking. I'll figure it out.
Should be updated.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't give us. I'm looking for it too.
They do put them up though. Like they'll put that. Like, they'll take a screenshot of the actual card, so it's broken down.
Yeah.
By judge, by round, by score.
It should have been a 41 or a 42. 42
Okay.
at a minimum. 41. I did not see.
I got it right here. Penny and two scorecards. The fuck are these people? Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond? What is
Yeah.
it? Oh, no. I don't understand what I'm looking at here. 29, 28, 28, 29, 28.
That's not this fight.
Oh, that's actual. That's a nickname. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, no, that's his name. He changed it to Blood Diamond.
That's fucking wild.
And then he
There we
got murdered in his fucking debut, which was kind of sad because cool.
Pardon me, I got it.
Bless you.
A couple more of those. All right, first round, 10-9 across the board. Second round, only one judge gave it. Two judges gave it a 10-8. Third round, only one judge gave it a 10-8. Yeah, that's. Oh, all right. Now I see how to read this. Okay, my bad.
50-45.
Okay, only one judge gave the entire fight every round 10-9.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, so Jacob Montalvo, calling you out, buddy, because we both got tattoos, so fuck y'all. He gave every round 10-9.
Yeah,
Douglas Crosby only gave rounds 2 and round 5 10-8s, the rest were 10-9s, and Sal D'Amato only gave round 2 a 10-8.
Yeah.
So now
Sal D'Amato. Do we need to say anymore?
Yeah.
But at least he
D'Amato.
scored something to 10-8. But yeah, I mean, knocking someone down 3 times in one round and having zero offense to nothing to worry about, that's a 10-7 round. So there should have, in my opinion, there should have been 2 10-8s, 1 10-7.
I mean, they could have even stopped it at the second one because she was hands back, eyes up, you know.
Yep.
I mean, if the Derek Lewis fight was over, that was fucking over.
Yeah. And when you're bleeding out like that, come on now, you know. But whatever. I am disappointed in the judges, as always. I'm disappointed in Amanda. I am not disappointed in Juliana. She has taken the cards that she was dealt, and she's gone as far as she can. Here's something. So earlier I was saying that we have problems in certain weight classes, and at the 135 and 145 female weight classes, sparring partners is a problem. Most female fighters have never been hit as hard as Amanda Nunes hits. Because when they spar, they're either sparring with other women or they're sparring with smaller dudes. But the guys hold back. They don't really crack. They work. So getting really hit happens in competition, and nobody hits as hard as Amanda. Obviously, Juliana has been hit fucking hard. And I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that some dude in her history fucking cracked her. Whether, you know, maybe I shouldn't be talking about dark history, but whether it was her dad being abusive or an domestic abuse or whatever. Juliana's been hit that hard and she keeps fighting. So her personality, her psychosis, and her toughness got her that title shot, got her that brief stint of holding the belt. But there's not a whole lot left for her. She's going to fight for a little bit, but honestly, most people that are ranked below her are going to beat her. Amanda's going to stay champ for a while until something unforeseen and very exciting happens, and things change.
Richard, this goes for you, by the way.
Yeah.
Honest.
That's solid. Thank you.
That's funny. So now that, well, we got to give the people what we want. Strike wants to know how these
30 Heels, baby, live.
How these Topology cards broke down. So, Richard, you had 9 of 13 correct, with 1 perfect, which means you not only you picked the finish and the round or how the fight ended could be a decision. Devious one, Ivan, you had 9 of 12, 0 perfect. I had 9 of 13, 2 perfects. I thought I had more than that. I gotta double check. I thought I had 4 perfects.
Okay, all right.
I had 4 perfects. And who else was left? Was it
Alex?
Alex.
No.
Alex had 10 of 13 with 0 perfects. The scores break down like this: Richard 540 points, Ivan 565, Alex 590, and still Topology World Champion at 615 points, the one and only.
Oh, hey, and what the fuck was
And
that?
you can't tell. They don't want him here.
Hey, I thought he was the director, not the magician. He just fucking disappeared.
Oh man!
Oh my God.
He's back. He's back.
The internet has been a little wonky tonight, huh?
I clicked the wrong tab. It was good times, but I am
Oh,
definitely.
I was blaming the Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi for sure.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi
not working.
And the Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi right here on my clicker button.
That is right. You see, Alex lost. We all win. Yes.
Don't be
Yes.
don't be gross, bro. Don't be gross.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, we all win. Hashtag anybody but Alex, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Hashtag that, because man, and the winner by unanimous decision and still Topology World Champion, the director, the one and only Chris fucking Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn right.
That's right. That's damn right. I acknowledge you. Damn you.
Head of the table.
Hey, head of the Topology table. That's for sure.
That's damn right.
Real quick, just say something real quick. I'm just curious, Rage and Chris and Ivan, what you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the one preliminary bout that stood out. I'm just curious to see what your thoughts are on the heavyweight fight. Did you guys watch the Hamdi fight versus Mays?
Yeah, the first ever Egyptian-born fighder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight. What's particularly, did you not see it go in the way of Hamdi?
I thought he won. I'm just curious, like, what are your thoughts about like Mays' like striking style and the way he was like trying to go for the knockout, like his movement, footwork, as like a heavyweight movement.
I mean, I'd have to rewatch it to have that data fresh, but I think that the difference in that was Hamdi had more takedowns, and I think that's kind of what he would win a lot of the first half of the round and lose a little bit of the second half of the rounds, but I think he had the takedowns, which kind of was the big deciding factor. If I remember correctly, I don't usually take notes on prelim cards like that. But that's my recollection.
I thought this was just all coming off the top of your head, bro.
It was.
I didn't know you take notes. And
well, I mean, I don't write notes.
And prepare.
I take mental. I take more mental notes.
I vaguely remember that fight. I wasn't terribly impressed. I thought they were both, adequate, right? I think, man, I can't even say his name, but I think the Egyptian boy, I think he's going to develop, right? He's got that wrestling pedigree. He can take a shot, and he's got some power. And who's he training with? What do you know? Is it?
I can bring that up.
Is he with Ray Longo? Am I making that up, or?
I know,
Does not say. He was in the 2016 Olympics, so.
Olympics, yeah, for Greco-Roman. I know the fight was like.
I think his Sherdog account might have that. I can do some digging. Keep talking.
Yeah.
He was like a 10-day
I'm
fight
pretty
too.
sure he's out of New York.
FlowWrestling.org. I don't know if that's a training camp though. No, I think that's just a website.
It's a website, yeah. Pro wrestling.
A lot of articles about his Olympic.
Yeah. I mean, So he's got a lot of
Killer Bee Combat Sports Academy. Is that a thing that matters?
What is it?
Killer Bee Combat Sports Academy.
I'm not familiar.
Me neither. I don't know if that's updated, but that's the most information I have.
Okay. So anyway, there's a lot of great coaches. There's a lot of great talent. And maybe he's got a good coaching staff, but he's got a lot of room to improve, so that his striking can. And man, he's got crazy power too. Like he was just, it was just rah and hitting some stuff. But once he actually learns to use his proper mechanics and sit into his punches and use his feet right. And see, speaking from experience, it's actually pretty easy to teach wrestlers proper boxing footwork. The footwork is very similar between wrestling and boxing, and the distances are also pretty close. So you can convert a wrestler, or you can teach them boxing pretty quickly if you know how to teach. But yeah, so I think he's got some potential.
It's like breaking news. It might happen. They're finalizing it for 281.
The odds have already popped up. Odds are already being made. So
that is right.
Yes. What is this?
That's
all right.
Chandler and Poirier for 181, right? Or 281?
281.
Yeah.
So
the odds of that are already forming. So
did you guys see the early prelims? How did Kosi do?
what was that?
Or Ryan Kosi?
I gotta look that up real quick.
It says here that he won by decision, by unanimous decision. I
did not see that. I didn't tune into the Jocelyn Edwards fight. I had to play catch up, so I may not have seen
okay. Yeah, the Kosi twins, I like those guys. Oh, brothers, not twins, but they look like twins. I like both of them. They're out of NorCal. Good guys. I'm happy that he won. Again, you're going to see a lot of personal bias from me because I know a lot of fighters.
Fair enough.
And Drew Dober.
Don't be the DC of the pod.
Sorry. we got to have it. And Drew Dober looked pretty fucking good too, right?
I picked that fight perfectly. That was one of my 4 perfects. I picked Dober by KO round 3. I was like, what? How did I do that?
Have you guys been watching the Contender Series?
Absolutely, definitely.
Like last night? Like
I
holy
shit.
Morning.
Yeah, that made up for last week for sure.
Yeah. Damn, that was good.
Yeah, that definitely spoiler alert, 5 contracts. Just saying.
And listen, anyone that's listening to the podcast, make sure you watch the Contender Series and check out LFA. Man, there are some fucking phenomenal fights that happen on LFA, and LFA contributes 60%. So 60% of the fighters in the UFC came through LFA.
It's the new WEC for sure.
Exactly. So I guess that's my
the odds for Poirier Chandler opened up with Poirier has a 60% chance to be Chandler, which
really
that's actually a little close. I mean, I kind of think it might be 50-50 for me. I think all fights are honestly 50-50 sometimes, but
I'm with you.
That's an opening odds favor right there. So we'll see.
It's a fight I want to see.
Yeah. That's I don't care who loses. I just want to see who wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Chandler, I'm a Chandler fan, and I didn't think I was going to be because I had the Bellator bias. I was he can't play in our league. He's a Bellator fighter. He's not good enough to be in here. And he came out.
He's batting 500. He's 50-50 right now, so that's still.
Yeah, but he came in. He's murking the top talent, and the boy can work the mic, and he's a motivational speaker. So I like him. I like him. Good guy.
And
I love Poirier too.
Him and Gaethje definitely are suffering from that 50-50 booking right now. So it is still a dark cloud of coming up established champions from previous companies up into UFC. So
yeah, like right now, Poirier minus 150 and Channel plus 130. Really? Is that what the fucking betting odds are?
This is day one though, so we'll see what the when people start actually putting money down, that line will move.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it will have, man, definitely. Oh my god.
It minus 110. That's where it belongs.
I agree. It's a toss up, honestly. It's a tough one. I love both of them, man. Oh my god! And that basically they'll be added to the Gilbert Burns and what is it? And Masvidal, pretty much. They're fighting in that card for 281, November 12th. I know that fight is booked, but I'm looking at. Yeah, Burns and Masvidal.
Oh shit! Okay, I kind of didn't know about that one, but sick.
Yeah,
exclusive.
Exclusive right now. Here, yeah, exclusive plot. Yeah, it's booked. That one's is booked for November 12th.
The odds for that have to be by 90%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. My back hurts carrying the belts, so I'm going to go ahead and get some stretching going on. And what's UFC 278? Let me bring that up real quick and see what.
Got it right here for you, boss. You see right there. Look at it right here, right on your screen.
I don't like to look at that. That's weird. I got it right here. All right. Oh
That's
yeah,
weird. He says.
I can't look at that format to study. Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. I'm excited for that. Also, Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold.
It's going to be canceled again.
There should be a fight night main event at best.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. What else am I looking forward to on that? I mean,
this is name fucking holding fights. I would cancel that fight. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. We'll see about
that.
They
fucking canceled it twice. What the fuck? Just cancel it.
Yeah. We'll see.
They have contracts to fulfill.
Fight night. Now Chris said, "Fuck it."
They have obligations to meet and miles to go
for no reason.
Before I sleep.
And Costa's moving up, obviously, in that fight because I don't think that Luke would ever make 85 in reality. So at least Costa's back at a weight class where he doesn't have to fucking do whatever it is he was doing to get down to 170 or 185. Wait, no, that is 185. Right? Luke's at 85?
I don't know.
Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah, 185.
185.
It's the middleweight. So Luke went back down to 205 because he got fucking knocked the fuck out twice by John. So
yes.
Cool. Awesome. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen for a 9th time. Let's go. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I will talk to you guys the week before UFC 278. Richard, peace out. Love it. Rage. Yep. Stay rageful, I guess. Stay raging.
Keep raging. All right, guys. Right. Thank you.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you much for tuning in here for our recap for episode 277. We'll be back for the week before August 20th for UFC 278, which is Usman versus Leon Edwards. So we're looking forward to seeing that fight. And not the fucking Luke Rockhold and Paul Costa. Fuck that fight. We want to see that fight. I don't care about that fight. But yeah, like you know how Coach said, I don't care about it. I don't give a shit about it.
Are we not supposed to fucking swear on this podcast?
God damn it, Coach! You had a dirty mouth.
The following program is rated TV MAL.
We're TV MAL.
That was at the beginning of the show.
Well, there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe to Coach Rage on his social media platforms and his YouTube channel. Follow him in PYR as well. And of course, don't forget Richard as well for Championship on the Line podcast along with his brother. Hashtag anybody but Alex. But hashtag that. And of course, us here at Circle Debate. Furry Fate Destroyed. Make sure you follow them. And we'll be back in a week and a half to go ahead and give you our predictions for 278. We're looking forward to it. So we thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Shout out to Brazil once again for our audio platform listeners. Thank you very much for listening to this. Very, very much. The numbers are growing in Brazil because of you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Obrigado.
That's right.
It's the only thing I know how to say in Portuguese.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.